How did I get all the way down here, guys?
South North available there, and then NA East, which we will be back
Hey
for
guys,
later.
what's up?
Don't forget we have other regions.
How do I get back up, guys?
What?
How do I get back up there?
I don't know. Just get back up there. That's all.
I'm saying
We're watching this.
Asking you how. Whatever.
Batman. Genius.
They showed the last lap bundle.
Oh, are you kidding me?
They showed the last lap bundle.
Cool, I don't care because I didn't get to see it. Wow. Trying to make it over there because somehow I fell when I was just sitting down. Okay, guys, here we go. We're talking about Victory Royale, some of the best Fortnite players in the world. Look at this bundle right here, guys.
And of course, let's not forget Joyride has hit the game, and we will not be seeing vehicles in the competitive playlist, so just keep that in mind as we are watching.
Won't? Keep
so guys, I did
being...
kind of touch on it just a moment ago. We do have those other regions that are facing off. We should probably check it with OCE and see how things are going.
I cannot hear it.
Yeah, I think we should for sure, because the competition over there was a preview of everybody else. These
Dude,
guys
stop telling us to shut up.
I'm
watching. And if you watched last night, it was certainly nice.
Okay.
We got to award our first Axe of Champions.
Yep, the axe was given out all the way towards the winner, and this man's going to be having that big axe to use towards the entire next season. It's going to be awesome to see. The winner of OCE overall was, of course, Jinx, RNG, Jinxie Fishy, and total points of 75, the Oceanic champion. What a run that he had above the rest.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And this man was contested, too. For yours unfamiliar with what that means, that means off-spawn, when he dropped, there was somebody fighting him, which means that it's very difficult to do what he did. But 75 points. And something else to note about Jinx, this is a man of stature, somebody who has won the previous FNCS, so he was already holding on to that Axe of Champion. He gets to maintain going into this season.
Winners stay winning because as well from second place all the way down to 10th.
Oh my God,
very familiar names.
Guys.
Refalse, Asfit, Rax, Worthy all the way up to second. Zore, Leia, Moose, Link at 7th, and then Fresh at 6th, who's been playing so phenomenally over during the day. Had some help as well from chat, as well as Arab coaching him throughout the entire process. Past that, 2 on the second place of Oceania, 11th down to 20th place. It is the same names we keep seeing, but look how close it was overall. Look at the prize money these guys got broken down. 40 points down to 36. Mounted holding 11th. RBK, I don't know, which is Volks holding down all the way to the 20th slot.
Such a close competition, and this is going to be a nice identifier here as we get ready for EU. I mean, watch these point thresholds. Look at how close that is. We will more than likely see this in EU unless someone decides to break away. With that being said, though, Asia also has a champion. Fram #1 holding down that #1 spot, 47 points. No victorials, but 11 elimination and an average placement of 25th. That in itself is a statement to be made, and now he will hold the Axe of Champions high.
But it was so close, Zeke. Look at the eliminations, 11 for him. Over 6 games, that is slightly under 2 elims. And you know what? It counts. Everything matters. Tiebreakers certainly do in this case. 3 people tied for points at first place. That is ridiculous. Unheard of. Haruhiko coming in second, and Peter Pan. Unfortunately, these guys fell with the tiebreaker of eliminations. Fram will win the Asia region.
Still, another tiebreaker back-to-back, 44 points.
That's
4 ways
so
through,
much money.
from 3rd all the way down to 7th place. That is insane to see. Still, that story continues on the second page.
You guys can check
Asia
this out on
so close,
right
so
now.
competitive.
You guys want
and
to
as you mentioned, Bala, every elimination did indeed matter. Once again, Rizart down to Riru from 11th to 13th
Come
place.
up here, guys.
They were tied. You go all the way down to 18th to 20th. Wildhawk, Bob, these guys were tied too, and it was their individual performance every game that stood out. So remember, every single game we watched today, every single play matters the most.
That's right, man. And this is something we're going to talk about for the whole time, right? Is every interaction matters. Every time 2 people square up, one of them will be eliminated, while the other is allowed to continue moving and continue earning those points, while the other that lost has to wait. They have to reset and come back into the game with a fresh mindset and hope to earn more points.
And these guys have been doing it all weekend long since Friday. They've been playing in these set lobbies, these very difficult games, and for some of them, they're done. They've already played it through, but for others, regions that we're looking forward to, EU up next, and these guys have such a competitive field. Look at the first list of qualified players, and that is just 1/5.
And they've gone through so many different hurdles. We had 4 heats in total, top 25s qualifying from each and every one, down to the final 100 players. These guys are at the top of their game, and they're going to be playing against other people who are used to winning. On this page alone, I'm looking at Scouts, Keziks, Seven Tour, Mongrel, big, insane, legendary names looking to get another title under their belts.
Reason was on that page too, the player who won Heat 4 against people like Letwick. Flois came out of Heat 1 with a dominant performance. We're going to be looking at him to see if he can maintain a good start out of the early game. Tayson, who had the first start in Heat 2 with a back-to-back victory royales. And we've talked about before how much that matters. His lead was almost insurmountable after only 2 games.
Ooh, Safik's in there.
And whether you're watching in-game in Party Royale or anywhere online, just pick a name over here, follow it through, find a new favorite player, and follow your favorite old ones too, like Lecce, like Fasroki, Xweez2, who's an insane winner, winning back-to-back games through all stages of the competition. These guys are about to play some of the hardest games of their lives and are going to give us some of the best Fortnite we have ever watched.
And yesterday was literally like a little taste of that, right? And we've seen these pockets of people already setting their eyes on grand finals. Today will bring some of the best Fortnite we've ever seen. I mean, there's no way of knowing. Will someone break away and hold off strong? Will people go head-to-head and kind of pull each other back? And at the very end, someone will cross the finish line. No way of knowing, guys. This will all unfold before our very eyes.
Yeah, I mean, Zeke usually asks me the question, who do you think is going to win? I'm going to answer before you get to ask any one of these 100 players because they all deserve it, 100%, all the way up to this point. I'm serious. It's anyone's game. Every single person on all those pages are so good.
And I want to add one thing to that, too, because it might be anybody's game, but also think about the fact that one player after all of this, out of 100, is going to be walking away the winner, the champion. That is just mind-blowing to me.
Yesterday we got to see the top 25 move on, and we thought about which 75 would fall. Now it's the 99 that will not make the cut. With that being said, though, let's take a look at a replay that has led us to this point.
Yeah. If you haven't joined us on the broadcast just yet, there was 4 heats to play through. Each of those had 100 players. Top 25 moved on from every single one of them. We're watching the winner of heat number 1, and we're highlighting him because he won in a surprising fashion, coming out from behind and dueling a lot of other top players. And he did it with style, winning a game with something like 5 eliminations and then taking the lead from there and being consistent all the way through. That's why I advise it's certainly somebody to pay attention to.
He has no heals.
Yeah, the name to remember is Wave Advised, especially anyone having Wave in front of their names.
Yeah,
but just look at the way he broke down every game.
Ooh.
It wasn't something under control for him all the time. That was a nice back
play.
Against the wall, but always found a way through to win every single time.
And he was dueling against players like Clement, who are going to be here today. But moving on into Heat 2, if you missed that one, this was electric. This was fantastic. We already talked about Tayson's back-to-back, but he did it again with style, too. That's why we have to keep an eye on him going into this. And there's some interesting things about him. We saw a sneak peek about that landing spot, and that's where our previous FNCS Invitational Solos champion came from. His duo partner, Janice.
And Janice is playing today, too, so these guys will have to face off against each other at the same drop spot, in the same end game, and it's unpredictable as to what will actually end up breaking down.
There's another player, too, in that heat. It was Kinzel. They ended up dueling. Also somebody who came out of Steamy Stack, so we'll have to keep that in mind. But moving into Heat 3, this is something that caught a lot of people by surprise. Why? Because Xweez, while he has been pretty consistent overall, his placements in FNCS and other tournaments like that, nobody expected what he did throughout the qualifiers. Nobody expected a second place on day 3 into a first place on day 4.
Bro, what is this dude doing
in the heat yesterday?
The most surprising performance by far, absolutely, and the most impressive in style.
What is this kid
always puts himself
doing?
into positions where he can show his flair, show his aim, and give us a good insight to what shots he likes to take. All these shots always culminate to a win. Just look how fast he is past edits, landing the bullets that he needs to land to be able to get eliminations and then win games close range 4 people back to back, and he did this in multiple games.
And that's not all. While X-Sweeze might have dominated his heat, there's still one more. To find the last 25 players, we had to go through one of the most difficult ones overall. There was players like Mongrel in the next heat. There was players like Reason, and those two have been going back-to-back against each other for quite some time, starting from the day 1 3 weeks ago. But Reason showed up again, and even though they dueled and took first and second in this heat, Reason seemed to come out far and ahead, the champion of that heat. And for one reason, I think, no pun intended, the Holly Hedges uncontested drop spot.
Yeah, with no one fighting you down early game, you have a huge advantage on playing the rest of your game out, going for positions, going for wins. That being said, though, Reason and Mongrel are going to be able to battle it out once again here today in these grand finals, and it's the final round for these guys to wrap up their story.
And the important thing to note from Reason, he did win back-to-back in heat number 4 yesterday against players like Letwick, who had even Kit Shockwave Launcher to try to put him down. He does not care and will go for the biggest streak of 2 back-to-back games in terms of eliminations and wins. So that total amount of points, ridiculous from Reason. We'll have to see if he's in form today.
That's the biggest question across the board, right? Who is in form? A lot of these players, they already know the field. They've already scouted each other out, and just like we've done our research, they have too. Now the question is, who will hold strong and who will walk away the champion? With that being said, guys, it is time to get into the first game of the day here in EU.
Here we go.
So let's get ready to toss it over to our casters. We've got Clay Staling and
Let's
Sundown.
get it, guys. Let's get it.
Gentlemen, over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jonesies, Bonesies, he's, she's, theys, and thems, welcome to the first game of the FNCS Grand Finals in EU, and I hope you got your popcorn ready, whether it's literally or the emote in Party Royale, because this game is about to be a blast.
I am ready for seeing all the action unfold. I hope everybody's got their favorite emote out, whether it be take a seat, whether they're with their glow sticks out raving. I'm ready. I know you're ready, Sundown. It's going to be amazing.
Enough from us. Let's take us into game number 1. The analyst desk set it up so well. Shout outs to Zeke, Bala, and Showager. But now we're into match number 1. This is it. 6 games
guys,
to decide who will walk away with that axe of
Who is
champions.
doing that?
Who will be the top player in arguably the most competitive region in Fortnite. It does have the most participants, and there's $800,000 up for grabs here, and here's the initial drop spot.
Got it.
And it looks like everyone's sticking true to where they planned on dropping. We have 3 players in Steamy. We've got, I think, only 1 or 2 players there in Caddy Corner, of 4 in Lazy Lake that we've seen time and time and again from Europe. And, of course, we've got Rezon and Holly Hedges, and it seems like he may be alone.
And one of the best comments I think I saw coming out is, wow, everyone is really scared of Rezon. And if you look at some of those early game drop spots, both in heats and I'm assuming now in the grand finals, everyone stays really far away from him. And you can see that in the bottom right-hand corner on the map. Not a single triangle remotely close to him representing another player. That's because he's done such a good job over the course of the entirety of this tournament to stake out the claim, and then also getting a nice little elite chest right there, granting him the legendary burst AR, and he's set to go now. He can begin his rotation and head to center zone. He has those 6 crash pads, which we've seen him execute on so well, and he's basically set to now just farm the materials he needs and transition into the mid game. However, we've seen him go aggressive time and time again with this similar loadout, as now we swing on over.
And you saw how careful he was being. He wasn't taking a chance looting that chest. He didn't want anything to go wrong in game number 1, because that sets the pace of your games going forward. Whether you get out to a head start or whether you have to climb your way back from an unfortunate off-spawn elimination. However, Hen, on the other side of it, does have players nearby. Loadout not as great as what we just saw on Rezon, but someone that also did very well in the qualifiers. Came out, I believe, got a 2nd place there in one of the days. He's got that cyber rifle there for him. He's looking. He's peppered up. He's looking for an elimination.
These
I think he's going to be able to catch this play off guard.
I'm
going to come through. He's going to wait, and he does. Ardent's going to go down. Elimination comes over for him.
Brilliantly done. there by hand to set up that ambush on the side. We've talked about it time and time again, how you need to be careful, but in the early game in particular, it's so hard to really know where your opponents are, keeping track of them. If somebody does get that first shot down and you're not able to react, it can be game ending. And going out there in 96, it's so hard, a 0-point game, and now you have to sit back and watch everyone else have fun while you're sitting there waiting for the next game. As now we hop on board, and Candy, who's going to be in the exact same situation as Milan, turns that one around. And someone who's really been playing a lot better as of late, Clay.
He has indeed, and I believe we have 2 Milans here in this grand final, so got a Loft Milan and Normal Milan, but both of them have been playing very, very well and have consistently been making it into that top 25. It seems like almost every single qualifier, so it's really good to see consistency being rewarded, especially with the way the format is. The format rewards those high-placing, high-consistent games, so if you're able to get to top 15, top 25, top 10 every single game, you're going to start to make your way to the top of the leaderboard.
And that's what the goal is for the end. We talked about so much yesterday how it's, hey, top 25 is all that matters. Well, here, everyone wants to be number 1. You have to walk away with that top spot. It's a solos competition.
So
if you want the grand prize in the X of Champions and all the clout that comes with saying, hey, I am the best player in my region after the weeks of qualifiers, and then coming down to this, and Mr. X, who had a beautiful run yesterday to even get him here.
The real question.
Miracle back-to-back eliminations, but now
he's lagging.
Pressure from Rifle, going to get in directly on top of him, but sticking straight to the AR spray. He didn't have a shotgun. That's what we talk about. Those early game fights, he just had the assault rifle and the SMG, opting to stick with the AR, and I think that might have been the wrong call, as the SMG could have offered him slightly more damage in that situation, but Rifle comes through and punishes it.
And it was such a close call. That Siphon was just the difference maker once that elimination came through. You see, now on another engagement, it's between Wolfies and Maestro. Maestro running off this side on the front foot. The pedal is down. Maestro wants to just continue to push down. Shots go through. He's going to break through the wall, and Wolfies is going to go down.
That was a huge pickup there from Maestro Wolfies, who was the second place finisher in the duos of the World Cup. We've seen him play so aggressively, the young player from the UK, but when he's put on the back foot, it can be a little bit challenging there. Maestro did come through, got dropped down to 48 HP, but don't forget, in arena and tournament settings, there is that siphon enabled. That means when you eliminate an opponent, you will get either 50 HP or 50 shield back, depending on which one you end up needing. It prioritizes health first, and then they will also drop all of their materials, all of their loot, and an additional 150 materials, so an extra 15 builds that you can go over and sweep up. That ends up being really key, particularly in the mid and the late game now, as I'm on board here with a Ventex, who takes 2 really big shots and is put on the back foot.
He is, but luckily enough for him, Fresh does not have any shield pop. Now, it's not going to be as good, as he is going to be finding time to get those minis in that big shield pop. And Intel over there needs to find an aggressive push into the box and needs to catch him off guard. If Ventex is not able to get this med kit off, this does not look well for them. But it seems like the med kit will be popped, so he does get back to fighting HP. Under 50 HP is enough to withstand some shots. As Precious now on the back foot, that's exactly what he needed to do. He needed to turn that defense that he was waiting on into that offensive moment. And now Precious in a very bad situation. 6 builds remaining. No HP to really work with. He's going to have to hit a really big charge shot there. Dana coming through, not going to connect on these shots. He goes to the box, but Precious hits the shot, and that's another elimination for him.
And you talked about it. He needed to hit that big charge shot, holding it up and punishing it.
I already read out.
When you see 2 players box to box fighting with charged shotguns, it's really difficult if you're not able to get that finishing blow right away, like No Luck Nebby does there, finding Kira to close out the fight, because you can have... Oh, Nebby, what? Don't even forget my point there. Nebby showing the power of the hunting rifle, showing up, catching 2 players on the outside. However, look in the bottom right-hand corner. A 3rd player is now rotating by. So can Nebby get all of these resources and get out without getting engaged on? But those are 2 monstrous shots. He's got to feel confident there, and definitely not living up to his name. Plenty of luck going on.
And you took the words from my mouth. Nebby with an amazing aim there, just getting what he needed to get started. However, someone who is not having amazing luck is Janice right now. 134 effective HP. It means he fought either off spawn on rotation. Now he is going into the orchard which does allow these campfires and the apples that drop that give you 5 HP per consume. He's going to be in a good spot. He's able to really farm up. But Janus drops Steamy stacks, and look at his metal count. It was only 97. Amount of Steamy with only 97 metal is not what he's used to, and this is definitely impacting his game plan.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough there. Also, tons of players will know where he is, stoking that campfire, putting off the smoke signal. You can see him, those apples dropping, but instead opting to burn the extra wood. Good trade-off there and good awareness of where he was on the map. However, you do see Spen is lurking and trying to catch out the FNCS Invitational winner here. Janus over on the side, and he does. He gets him real quick. That's the problem. Again, we talk about it, the hunting rifle on the side. If you're not ready for it, it can be a game ender right there. You get caught out farming. And honestly, I think that's a little bit on Janus there. You don't want to be on the edge of the zone and caught gaining materials. Like, yes, you did just get in. You can feel safe. You're back up at that 100 health, 100 shield threshold. But you have to know other players are rotating.
I'm in perfect position for my stream.
He's actually going to get harassed there as he tries to rotate out. We're going to hop on over to a 3-way fight going on over here.
Oh, and now already down to just 2 players. Controller getting into the boxes and getting the shots, picking up 2 eliminations back to back. Flecken gonna fall there, and these are what you need to do in solos. You need to get into the box and you need to finish the eliminations quickly.
Because
like we saw, if you come and you fight and you box fight and you build fight, and more people are gonna come and they're gonna realize that, and you are going to fall. So very good play there from Controller.
And so far, it's been the story of the third party. You hear players talk about it all the time, whether it's your friend or your favorite streamer. That third party is the extra player who comes in. So if you're taking a 1v1 and then somebody else rotating by says, oh, you guys are preoccupied. First, we saw Nebby picking up the 2 shots there, then Controller closing it out with that epic tactical shotgun. Going to be on board here with Ovation Orion. We've seen him pull off a number of plays, but again, really good at kind of those ambush-style tactics, as you can see here, trying to set up a little bit on this player who's rotating in front of him. You can see the map in the bottom right-hand corner. That is the next storm zone revealed, so you can see we're pulling a little bit central. We're just kind of south of the authority, or just over the authority, with a little bit of a southwestern side there. So most of the players will have time. The Slurpy Swamp players will have tons of priority, and Storm Surge has just turned on, which is something you might not be familiar with if you're watching there. So Storm Surge is actually on in every game, but is only activated when you're above a certain number of players left. That number of players for the third zone is 70. So with 83 players currently left, 13 will be impacted. What it does is those who haven't done enough damage to the opposing players will then take 25 damage every 10 seconds. It's to try and encourage a little bit of active play, which you see here from Orion taking out Queasy, who's going to be queasy about that, just being game-ended right there before the
I'm going to report
occurred,
you.
Not picking up any points in that.
That's it, I'm reporting you.
And what a smart play. He went in different
He even
angles
looked at my
and
stream
didn't just
to see.
that off the top, because he knew Queasy would have been expecting that and found an angle, got in the box, got the elimination. That also, with Storm Surge, it causes people to make plays like that. Arion may have decided that, you know what, a couple tags were good, I'm good to go, move on. He's put him pretty high up in the Storm Surge, but he didn't want to take the chance. He wanted to make sure he was above at least 100 damage on the threshold. So he decided, I got to go in, I got to get in the box, because when Storm Surge starts hitting you, nobody's going to let you shoot them. No one's going to let you even look at them. They're going to be sitting in their boxes, they're going to sit there and wait, and not even open windows, not even make any movements. Because they know, hey, that guy's getting hit by a big purple lightning bolt. We can't attack him. Well, all of a sudden Phoenix is actually going in, but maybe a little bit of a misplay.
There we go. Reported.
Gets punished right away, and Tigwe has
stop.
everything you could possibly want for a box fight there.
Report you
just
next.
Look at the loadout, having the epic
stop.
tactical shotgun, the epic burst AR, crash pads, plenty of shields. So Phoenix might have felt a little pressure to go in and create some space, but Tigwe punishing very succinctly there, as now we swing on board. Milan, Seventor, Kiko, and Anas all directly on top of each other. They become legends. Anas has played incredibly well. Nice also joining in on the party. And this is what we talk about, that Storm Surge. All the players who below, Anas being one of them, are going to be forced to find tags. That damage is going to start coming through. He's going to need to convert on it, and he converts brilliantly there, picking up Supremacy's Clement in #1 elimination, and also closing in on that first placement threshold, Clay.
It was such a beautiful play by Anas, because he knew Clement had that bush. He said, you know what, he's going to go for the pickaxe. I'm just going to go ahead and edit that wall out so he can get the initial shot, and that got him the elimination. That initial shot there gave him the damage just to follow up with another tag shot, and with that rare tactical shotgun, it does a lot of damage if you're able to hit all the pellets, and that's exactly what he did. Now, on his way, he got the pepper placement threshold, just came through as well, and now he's moving in. He's got a very great loadout to secure himself a very good placement here. We know Anas is very, very capable, like you talked about, and he's already stalking another player. He's looking to take down AX Controller.
Yeah, and that's Controller 007 from the FNCS Invitational. We saw him have a number of really solid performances. Still need 3 players to go down from that Storm Surge special, but Anas just trying to kind of follow in this rotation path, get as close to center.
They need Storm Surge,
so
guys.
If you're kind of new to watching competitive Fortnite, joining for the first time in Party Royale or Twitch or YouTube or Twitter or WatchFortnite.com, what do you care about as you're watching this game as Anas will take it down, or what are you looking for? Mongrel and Thomas HD also picking up eliminations to put us below the Storm Surge special. The first thing is whether or not people are picking up eliminations. You can see that to the right of the player's name. It's right next to kind of the little mark there. And that will represent 1 point every single time as they go through.
Sorry, stream. I just had to do something.
In this format, the first one occurs after 25 players have gone down, and the next one occurs after 50 players have gone down. And it's every
Wait, guys, 1 sec. Okay, guys. Let's go.
But he's got Letwick right above him, so you can tell he's being a little bit more cautious this time around. In the heat and the qualifiers, he knew he had a little bit of leeway after that great performance that he had. He was able to play a little bit more aggressive and still get top 25, which is insanely impressive. Now, the biggest impact of the game right now is going to be this hit shockwave launcher in Thomas HD's inventory. He's already got an elimination because of it. He's also already near the next zone. He doesn't have to rotate very far, which is really good for him because he only has 94 material.
He only has 94 materials, and he's right by the priority on high zone. This is the 4th zone, which means it's the last safe zone that's completely inside the current safe zone. After that, the 5th one will be the half in, half out, which kind of signals the transition into the end game as Thomas helps end Sebi's game there. He's going to be sent back and have to queue up after that, and Thomas hits him with a favorite emote. Hey, if you got that emote and you're in Party Royale, mimic it right now. Let Thomas know you're with him and sending him the aid, because he has a really good shot to ride this game out with where he's positioned, because after the 4th zone, you don't want to head
My
super
freaking
central.
guys! Stop!
If that half-in, half-out zone
Stop
pulls to
eating.
the south and is on this high ground, and he has all the shockwave launcher plus a launch pad plus the mythic charge shotgun, it's going to be really difficult to force him out of a priority position.
Oh my freaking god! I'm actually going to report you.
This game is going to impact the other players around him.
And he's already doing that just with his AR. He impacted Sebi. He's going to take down passive. And this is very, very good for him because he doesn't have to go too aggressive to get these eliminations. They're kind of being handed to him here as he's just taking a grasp of his surroundings, looking at every possible angle, and getting eliminations. And speaking of that, Mr. Savage going to pick up an elimination there onto for Strokey.
Yeah, and you can see that action kind of being driven as players are forced to rotate in.
Oh my freaking god!
It's not only just about being
what
safe here,
the frig? JD, I'm reporting you. That's it.
Because that half in, half out is so important in terms of priority. But right now,
I'm
reason
blocking
is
you.
5 below the damage threshold. So once this zone clears, he'll start ticking. You want to keep an eye on the top left and then the bottom right-hand corner. That number will need to drop down to 50 players before Storm Surge turns off. And if anybody we're watching is below the threshold, they'll start taking that 25 damage every 10 seconds. And Reason just able to get himself above it with a nice tag there, and he's starting to get aggressive. We talk about the utility of the crash pads. We saw it in the package beforehand, and Ball and Child talked about how good he can be aggressive on the low ground, and he gets Heatsy there, which is a huge elimination as well, because he pulled that half in, half out zone we talked about. Everyone who banked on it being up on the high ground saying, hey, if it pulls up here, I can win the game. Well, they were wrong. It pulled away from them, and they'll be the ones who have to rotate as we hit top 50, meaning Storm Surge turns off, second round of placement points goes through, and everyone is going to be rotating.
And you saw Savage just waiting with that edit open. He was looking for any possible angle to pick up an elimination. Lois as well. He's kind of fashioned himself a little bit of a base here that's got these pyramids edited in a nice way so we can see down on players rotating. And this is where you want to be. If you do pull half and half out, you want to be looking for players. You don't want to be exposed because obviously that you could get sniped like Lois might do here. Some people, Mongrel picks up an elimination as well, so he's still here in this game and still fighting as well. As Lois is trying to snipe somebody out of the sky and was not able to hit it, but a valiant effort.
Valiant effort, but just a little wide. Might have given him a haircut, but not going to connect. No Storm Surge tags in play there as we see Kami pick up a huge elim. Lois trying to get involved here, finds the first tack shot, gets the second onto Vadil, who had picked up Savage. So Savage, again, going down early, only picking up an elim and the 2 placement thresholds. 3 points for him there. As we continue through, you can see Flois and Scribs still in. Helix as well. Skype, one of the now veterans, and they call them boomers in the lobby. 3 players in EU are 20 years old, and that is the oldest players who are in the match. But Skype has been around and qualified for nearly every one of these finals.
Not messing
We're
around.
hopping on board here with Quartz Froggy.
No, I'm gonna ban you from my chat.
Just absolutely gross run in
Promise you want me to ban you from my chat,
pushed himself, I believe it was like,
because I got it right here. I'm banning you right
in
here.
The final game to get here, but so far quiet on the day. No eliminations, but a decent loadout as we now transition into those fully moving zones, which means all the safe zones are outside, completely away from the current one, and everyone is going to have to move if they want to avoid that storm damage.
Now let me just watch this.
And luckily for him, it seems like it's pulling towards him, so he doesn't have to invest those crash pads right away. He can look for eliminations, as you see sitting in the code, allows him that opportunity to find these rotations as well. You see just bouncing away through the crash pads, doesn't have to worry about it. Squeeze is going to fall there in the feed. That's an important one to note there, because we talked about it, we hyped him up, falling down before that 40th placement threshold as well. He's not going to end on a lot of points. The question is, how many points can Froggy end up on? How many points can the rest of the lobby end up on as this game continues to go on? We see Kiriachi, we see Mongrel, we see Letwick there in your screen as well, and Froggy looks to have taken high ground with that. The shots go through, he's going to get that player down to low HP. It's Tammy going down. What a huge pick up there by Froggy, but he's not done yet. There's another player on the other side. So he does disengage, so he does have mats to build around with and to just drop down layers if he wants to. It seems he's content on focusing around high ground.
Come on, you got this,
yeah, Benji and Hen also picking up a pair of elims there in the feed
God.
As we close in on the next placement threshold. It'll be top 30, and then every 5 players going down. Storm Surge will also turn off his top 30, and we're closing in on it. There it is. Scouts picking up a pair to make sure he gets there. That's ADN and Diablo, we saw yesterday going down. Thomas also goes down,
bro.
and then Become Legends Rifle picks up Benji Fishy. Deceptos ends up getting Skype as well going down there. Lechy picking up Skylar, but we're still on board here with Quartz Froggy, and we saw how much work he can do on the mid-ground tarp here, and he's continuing to run through with that charge shotgun, picks up Scouts as well, and we're in through another placement threshold. So this is what happens as we start getting in the moving circles. All the action for us, so keep an eye. Flois all the way up on the high ground. Kiko has priority on the low ground, and then everyone else is the tarp in between. But Hen and Reason are still up on the mid-tarp.
I think Flois was able to pick up that shockwave launcher from what it looked like. He may have used the crash pad to take it, but Mongrel, I believe, going to fall there on the backside. Rezon still in this game, getting eliminations. Hid, thing on 4. Crash pad will come out here for Hid. He does have a lot of materials left. Carrot picking up 3 eliminations there on the backside. As shots come through onto Hid, he is going to be able to block it off, and the capitalization there on the Snazy will be good as he realized already losing HP. Ken's going to take down a player there as well. Anas going to fall.
Bro, your account's gone.
What it seems like a crash pad maintain high ground, but bad sniper coming up.
I'm
This
not
Sendo's coming up
reporting
as well.
you.
Everybody
Okay, I'm
is coming up for
reporting you
high ground.
twice this
Rezon
time.
just trying to make it through.
And everyone pushing for the high ground right now, but not necessarily paying attention to what's going down the low ground where people are cleaning up on eliminations. You have Flois in your top right, Froggy in your bottom right, everyone else on the wide. You can see Flois is up on that ultimate high ground. Deceptos and Hen down on that low ground with Rezon just above them. Froggy waiting for his opportunity, but keep an eye on the number of builds because we're getting down to the final one. Flois going to pick up an elimination there, and he's doing a really good job at just maintaining that high ground control as we're closing in on our top 5. One more player will go down, and then it's all about getting to the top 3. Boom, we have it. Letwick, Bad Sniper, Froggy, Hen, and Flois, top 5 in game number 1.
And Flois looking to close out 4 eliminations, but Froggy down below, you cannot count him out yet. He is right there. If he takes down Flois from below, that'll be so huge for him because he will get that shockwave launcher, get that mat refresh. Letwick's very, very low, more likely going to be edited down to try to come through, but no, Flois going to be one to take it down. Froggy gets down hit.
Are you kidding me?
1v1, Froggy versus Flois, the shockwave launcher up above. Froggy's trying to dodge him, Flois sending him down, he's trying to, but he's running out of match. 13 builds remaining, and Froggy does not look like he's stopping anytime soon. Take out the zone, taking some damage, but his shockwave himself down a little, Miso classic. Shotgun does come through.
Guys, one sec.
Shots come through. Flois are going to get the beam, and he takes down Froggy for the victory royale.
Really, really good job from Flois executing on the top-down push with the mythic weaponry, but more importantly, showing the versatility of that shockwave launcher, launching himself down and then finding a gap to launch the opponent out, tracking him, and picking it up with the AR. Match number 1 is done. Fury Flois taking home the victory royale, but we'll see where the leaderboard shakes out. We're going to toss it back on over to Zeke, Shio, and Bala.
Man, a strong start here in EU, really coming out with a nice flow. Flois finding himself the victory royale. Guys, this final fight between Froggy and Flois, both players walk into that 1v1 with 5 eliminations. The elim and the victory royale is going to be that 4-point swing. This is gonna be a good tone setting for the rest of the competition.
We saw it in every region, right? 1 point matters, and that's a 4-point difference for that win and the elim. The coolest thing, though, to me was the versatility for Flois and how he was playing every single engagement differently and using his entire kit to be able to hold first overall in Europe.
Come on,
right
Tico,
now.
you got this.
20 points and that victory royale.
Come on, Tico.
Yeah, but there's also other people lurking near, too. And with only the first game, don't forget, there's 6. People are starting to establish themselves. I see Hen in 3rd place right now with 15 points, a sign that he could actually be on that hot streak. Hen, a very hot and cold player. Letwick, though, played significantly well yesterday, and he's there again in
Renegade,
top
TikTok.
placements, and also with a couple elims to put himself in 4th place, but Kinzel too. And then the rest of this, I think, is kind of maybe a little different than what we might expect in towards the end of the day. You have Carrot, you had Deceptos, you had a Nas. I mean, there are some of these guys who have the potential to win for sure, but I don't know if that's quite it yet.
Yeah, I think at the top, I mean, obviously this is such a strong start. 20 points for Flois. Now, he's off the line, but he needs to take that next step and turn this into a full-on sprint toward the end. Is this the momentum he needs to do this, though?
Yeah, I mean, for all the people over here, that's the same kind of question, right? And if you haven't seen the standings leaderboard before, the eliminations are the total overall over the 6 games we're playing, as well as the points. And that's a combination of the placement and elims these guys have. So Letshi got 5 points of placement that game in 22nd place, and 2 eliminations. That's 1 point each. But for these guys, they're kind of sitting at 30th place. They don't have to go for a top 25 anymore. No one has to go for top 50. Everyone here is focused on that win, and they're just slightly behind. Still, though, really hot off the gate.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that people have to figure out on this first game. There are a lot of things and changes to what people might have been expecting. The plan, Zeke, you talked earlier about how these guys are all starting to do their research and whatnot. It shifts a little bit in grand finals. People start to make decisions and play with the mind a little bit of each other to, force things that you might not be comfortable with.
A lot of that is going to dictate that drop spot, right? And how that could, I mean, we're talking about 100 of the very best in the world. If I'm going somewhere and my peer is going somewhere that I'm used to playing with and against, that is going to dictate my play.
Okay, guys, let's go find another launch. Or another one. Is it? Okay, bro. Guys. Let's get this. This. And this. Some more jetpacks.
Did, and it doesn't matter where you land. You could always stumble across Kid's shockwave launcher.
And this is kind of like talking about the quality of the players we're seeing, right? Like, yes, of course, we have mythic items to play around, but for someone like Flois, it's like if he's going to walk up and he's going to take a fight and eliminate you, and that loot's just going to be put in his hands, it's like, okay, I'm already good. I'm already at a 10. You're just giving me that loot and now making me an 11.
Yeah, and also to think about other people who usually have that opportunity to make it through. There was a lot of the big names. I mean, Janus fell off the spawn, which you did not expect for him landing at C. Stacked with two players who play kind of passively in that. And he got sniped. There was also a number of different people who fell in the mid game.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing and the number one word for all these players right now is momentum, right? Flois finding that shockwave launcher gives them a bunch. Janus getting taken out, as Ball just mentioned, stops the momentum overall, right? So in game number 2, you have to find a way to rev their engines faster and then get ahead of everyone else with momentum.
Oh man, a lot of momentum here to start the day. Now, guys, I do want to continue, but I'm getting word the games are ready. So let's get ready to hop into game number 2 here of the Fortnite Champion Series in Europe. Let's see if the action continues. Sundown, play. Let's send it back your way.
Thank you so much, Zeke, Shio, and Bala. And I mean, I'm just so excited to see, because I'm a personal fan, or like I'm a advocate for the fact that game 1 is a nice way to set the tone, but you really get an idea of how the leaderboard and how the lobbies are going to play after game 2, because particularly with solos, it's about consistency and who's able to turn over a performance from one game to the next and continue it rolling, and you're really able to see that going down in the second match.
And into the third as well. If you're able to bounce back in that third and you really submit yourself at the top, you got a chance in that 4th, 5th, and 6th game to really turn online. Benji, somebody who definitely needs to turn online, but Savage is going to go down to Noah Riley in the feed. So the contestant happened, and Savage unfortunately falling. Looks like Benji is trying to take down Kiriachi in the time being.
Yeah, Benji trying to set up one of those ambushes here on the side. You can see him trying to pick up Kiriachi as he's going right for those slurp shots. He is going to find the initial burst shots there, opting not to use that sniper rifle and instead closing the gap on him as fast as possible. We'll see if he's able to get it. White Tag's coming through using the tac shot.
Nice, Benji. Let's go.
And well done, Benji. We talked about the contestant over there, and he says, 0 out of 10 for the effort. The Russian judge doesn't even give him a point. Benji taking it down there, and that's 2 elims. Right off in the start for him there. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, the two most contested areas are Rig and Salty Springs, each with 5+ players right now. So a lot of space being pushed out.
Or if you're in here, come right up to me if you want.
Salty. I mean,
if you're in my game,
you're all
come up to
taking
me.
one house of loot and saying, I hope this is enough.
Yeah, I don't know why 5 players are there. And I think it has to do something with Rezon. He scared everybody away from Holly, Hedges, anybody that normally landed in that path. He said, no, I'm just going to go try my chance at Salty there. As we are now over to the Fortia. This is Mongrel, and he's been dropping here for a while. We know that. But he does not have Ocean's first AR and Ocean's bottomless chug jug. Someone else may have snagged it from him, and with his aim and with what he can do with it, that Mythic Burst AR is so good here from him. But it looks like he's not going to need it now. He's going to get some tags going into this fight. That player going to have to back out. Mongrel, though, not going to let him do it. He's got to be careful. He is running out of AR ammo, but he says, you know what? Who needs an AR? I got a shotgun and a crash pad. I'm going into the box. He is going to miss the jump a little bit, almost deploying a crash pad there, but the continued pressure that he's keeping up is trying to keep this player from going any higher. And it's Smudge just trying to get away. He's got a little sliver of HP, but Mongrel going to get in the box and do that Mongrel classic and get the elimination.
And he had to resolve that fight right away, because even picking that up with the additional match drop now only has 52 materials, and while he is in the zone, since it did pull towards that south side, he's going to need to find it, and with so many other players around this area, it's going to be really hard to max out quickly. But now let's hop on board with our match number 1 winner. As you can see, the format in the right hand side,
that is so stupid.
You can see once you get into that
top
10,
you're so stupid, JD, if you do that. You're
all the way
so
up to 14
stupid.
for first. Then you can see 11 through 15 is 7, 16 through 20th is 6. It's the intervals of 5, then the intervals of 10, and of course you get that first placement point after the first 25 players have gone down. So still plenty of players who need to drop here, which generally is a little slower from EU. You'll typically see a little more aggression going on. However, as you get further and further on into tournaments, the stakes and the players become that much more difficult to fight against, and it's really hard to confidently take an early fight, as we have Rax and the Costa Rican Sebi in a battle over here.
You wouldn't want me doing this to you if you were doing YouTube.
Above Caddy,
but too bad you don't have a YouTube.
We're going to go through. He's going to get the initial damage, and he's going to follow up with the AR. The crouch spam, and it's going to pay off for him. The elimination comes through, but now the question posed for Sebi is, can he go get Pit's loot? Can he go get the shockwave launcher and that charged shotgun, or will he settle for some of the vault loot?
And generally, that's the goal. It's to go through, get whatever you can from the weather station, resolve the fight there, and then head down and hopefully pick up the remnants of whatever happened at Caddy Corner. But now we're going to swing on over to Authority, where we have Letwick. We're in match number 1. He was able to steal away that mythic glider grapple gun and just kind of rotate out. But now, match number 2, you can see Hardfind over on the side, and Hardfind looking to set up a trap and a bait. And we've seen this before a number of times, particularly around that vault area, where there are some areas you can't build.
Who's the other person?
To have just immediate drop, but Letwick is set up really well in terms of his close quarters combat. Just
you have to stop.
Epic
I already blocked
as well
the
as
other
the
party.
tactical shotgun and a legendary pistol means he has 3 really high rate of fire weapons that give him plenty of abilities to just spam
it's like he
and
wants
pressure
to get
Hardfind, who's going to be looking for an ambush here in a second. But right now, both players just farming up.
Oh, who's the other person? Wait, why am I getting so many viewers? What? I'm getting so many viewers. I've never got this much. I never got 3 at the same time. This is so cool. Okay,
what's concerning about this is the players that are around. Carrot is there as well. You got 2 other players on the side. Lewick is playing this very well. He's hitting some things, and he's standing still. So that's how the henchman act. They walk around, sometimes they'll hit something in their way, and then they'll stand still as you see one moving there. On the other side, we've got Wolfies who's going to fight against the Marauders. Hopefully he's able to get out of those. The Marauders are very, very potent. They shoot you, they throw things at you, and they just will try to eliminate you at all costs. And they've got very, very good aim. Especially with that hunting rifle there in the inventory of the Deadeye Marauder. Wolfies is pretty low, but he's got Ardent pretty low as well, 150 HP. Now the Marauders are coming in here. The third party this fight. Sometimes the third party does not always have to be an actual player. It can be the AI. This is really good for Wolfies. He's allowing the Marauders to go after this player and go after him for him and get the initial damage. But if he goes in, he's got to be careful. He can't look to go in right away with all these Marauders around. If he doesn't do any damage to him, they're going to be very, very, very hard to build through and walk through. As you see, the builds are going to get broken. This is bad for Wolfies. He needs to get rid of the Marauders. The shots are coming in down to 11 HP. He's only got 2 builds remaining. Watchman place. He can't build anymore. Got a player right there in front of him. Sniper shot going to come out, and it does. but he goes down to a Marauder.
No.
Vato getting picked off there, but the Marauders catching Wolfies out. No builds, no natural cover nearby. Ardit soaking most of the aggression. Him opting to go down. Ardit will clean up all of that. So good heads-up plays by Wolfies to pick up the snipe, but the Marauders ultimately enacting their revenge there. And it can be so difficult when you get caught out by them, particularly in the open. The builds that will target those and will try and take them out. You're definitely able to kind of ditch them and get rid of aggro when you're around some of the more natural cover on the map, those houses, the bridges, and the stuff that are nearby. But Vato not going to be happy about that. Was trying to get a little bit of a third-party tag there, and Wolfie's punishing him right before he goes down and says, hey, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me. And will also deny a key elimination point that could have gone over to Ardit. So ultimately, he's going to be upset his game is over, but at least he was able to pick up a little bit. Is now back on board here with Flois, and as we can see, he's used to fast starts, placing first with 5 elims in game 1 of heats as well. So let's see if he can turn this confidence into something more, as he is over on the northeast side of the zone with plenty of players around him. However, he has priority on the rotation, but not a ton of materials to really do it. You don't want to be forced to burn those metal and the brick here. We refer to those as the hard materials, because once they get built up, they provide that much more defense for you. However, just they're so much harder to get naturally as you move through the map.
So yes.
Flo is finding Cammy there, and you can see immediately he's going to head over there because he's like, hey, I need those mats. I need those refreshers. When we talk about refresher in the term, this is it, because that's going to be refreshing for him.
What a shot and a heads-up play by Flois. He desperately needed that, as well as his ammo was pretty low, too. Only 74 AR. That's not enough going into an in-game competitive Fortnite game. You definitely want to have a little bit more like Noah Riley here. Again, takes off Mr. Savage and now has the loot to show for it. They got coming in clutch with this loot. He's got this player down, though, with those tags. But the big shield going to be popped there. Now Noah has to be careful. He wants to go aggressive. His instinct is to push in with that crash pad and get the aggressive play. But that player back up to full HP. He's got to be careful. Shots go through the edit. Not going to connect on the shots there. Noah over the top. Shots come through. A 71 tag there for Noah. And now he's going in. Crash pad in. It doesn't matter, though. The crash pad is actually going to send him away. He's got to keep the pressure up to keep this player from popping any shields. And he's got the player back and forth, up and down, up and down. He's got the crash pad. He's going in. Shots are going to come through. The player puts the stare over the top of his head. And another good tag there. But Noah's not able to find him. Noah's not able to finish him off. This player continuously layer changing, going up and down in between the builds. And Hydro was just trying to run for their life.
Hydro trying to put as much distance as possible, and unfortunately going to go down there. Good job for Noah Riley on the chase. We talk about how important it is to resolve fights, particularly because you don't want that opponent burning those resources, because when you do take them down, they'll drop them there, and you want to get as much as possible. You can see Noah picking up all of the minis there. He's back up to 6. Good job, still has 4 crash pads. And one thing you'll note in particular when you're looking at these mid-game fights and what you should be keeping an eye on. Anytime a player has crash pads, that will enable them to push into boxes. You've seen it in 2 different ways, both from the top down, where they throw it against one of those cones because it lets them fall in, and then a perfect example, thank you, Ross Orange, for showing it right there, winning the fight against Hardfind. Very
getting taken down from the stream, bro.
That's a horizontal crash pad where you line yourself up on the corner of the wall.
Put him in timeout with me.
That corner, and
okay, put him in timeout with me, bro.
You, and it pushes you forward into the box, but it won't affect the other player. So it allows you to line up your shot ahead of time, and most times it'll also put you behind them, so they're not able to play defensively. As Orange trying to play defensively here, but
I give you moderator.
Comes in and says, hey, you didn't have enough time to reset and get your shields up. I will take all that loot. Thank you very much.
And that's the dangers of taking a mid-game fight.
And
if you take any damage,
whose channel is this? You're Mad Lol? What is that?
Players are going to recognize that shield crack sound.
You're Mad
Lol? They're going to move in. But on the other hand, look at Lewick. He took that fight, got out, and now is on the move. But Carrot is setting up an ambush for the shots coming through. Lewick has been cracked. Look at the box separation that he just did there from Carrot. Get a time trying to pass him, and he's the stare over the top is not his. He does get a nice layer change coming out and above, but he doesn't have enough time to pop the big shield. He's just looking to try to pop another mini, and he does get it off. And now he's looking for a shot. He needs to put the pressure back on Carrot.
Is this your channel?
He's going to keep running around, and Carrot's finally going to be able to get a shot on him. Carrot decides, you know what? Not worth my time, not worth my materials, not worth my HP. I'm going to disengage.
This your channel, bro?
I'm 50-50 on that. It felt like if Carrot had kind of kept pressing, he might have been able to pick up Letwick, particularly because, look at Letwick, there are only 20 total builds coming out, but that also means if you are able to take him down, you're not going to necessarily get that much back. You'd only get the 35 total, and it's really not going to be that beneficial.
I'm going to take down your
able to
channel.
rotate cleanly off of it. Both have
I'm taking down your channel, bro. I'm going to report your channel.
Diablo and NXS, Zandy. Zandy on the back foot here, and Diablo trying to push forward. Somebody we've seen had the capability of playing aggressively. He is above that Storm Surge threshold, so just trying to hunt this player and doing a good job of keeping Zandy on the back foot. Does get the cone replaced, owns both, edits back under. Zandy able to replace that stay there, so Diablo just going to reset for a second, make sure he's still back up at near that 100-100 threshold, and then Zandy going to go down, so good job making sure he picked that one up. Zandy was below that Storm Surge threshold. Diablo will see that coming through. The Storm Surge will take that over. So that's what we talk about right now. You can see on the right-hand side, Diablo is currently 130 damage above. Zandy was below, which means he takes that 25 damage every 10 seconds. And it also signals to Diablo, hey, I can just tag this guy up and then wait, because any damage he does for to that player, as long as they go down within a minute, he will still get credit for that elimination. He will still get the point, then he can go over and safely pick up that loot.
That is another aspect of competitive Fortnite that everyone has to think about. That Storm Surge, it plays a factor into so many of these players' games. Sometimes they forget about it because they're pumping, they're rolling, they got their mats, they got their ammo, they got their builds, they're in zone, and then they're like, wait, I didn't tag anybody this game. I gotta look for a tag. 50-50 on the other side, above, and a good amount above. If you're about 100 to 150 above, you're looking at a good spot. As shots come through, he's gonna take advantage and find swaps with one AR shot. That is what you needed. We saw Thomas HQ do that in the first game. Just find any sort of elimination that you can, far away or up close. Don't even have to risk yourself getting tagged up for it.
Yeah.
Beautiful elimination.
Yeah, but you notice how he's doing that behind a cone and editing a single wall.
Did
That's
you say
to
Dean?
avoid all of those hunting rifle headshots that we've seen come out time.
Yeah, I already reported him.
Want to get a game ender, looking for some of those.
Bro, is that your channel? You're mad, lol.
But that being said, when we talk about tags and going through, that's generally meaning
is that your channel, Dean?
Not with the intention of actually trying to eliminate the opponent, but just doing some damage so you're not threatened by the Storm Surge.
Well, if you look at my chat, somebody said, somebody's channel named Your Mad Lol said lol.
The number of angles you have, because
yeah,
so many of these
I don't know who that is. I must be a streamer or something.
No, I don't think it's a streamer. I think it's a random person.
No, I'm a stranger. I don't think that's...
Yeah, I think it is.
Roll with the momentum here, boxed up next to Arctic. Passive over the side as we're transitioning now into that mid-game kind of territory as players are starting to get closer and looking for priority in terms of zone number 4.
What an elimination. He needed it too. He only had 2 hunting rifle shots. That first shot needed to hit. He didn't really have a chance to follow up if it didn't. Very heads up play by Flois. First place, taking down second place. That is, hey, that's pretty good for your mentality. Even if he goes down here and be like, hey, I took out my competition, so I know I'm pretty secure there, but we're still pretty early on into the game, so you can't really do much with it.
And it's important to note when they stress during the top of show how every single interaction matters. Right there, Flois eliminating his direct competition right now, the player who is closest to him, who's able to pressure up. That means if he's able to build up a lead now, it's going to be that much more substantial, because effectively he's eliminated one of the players who can threaten him the most, as now we're on board here with ADN. We saw him have an amazing run yesterday, pushing in. Right there, you can see the Dorito edit being taken down, and that's such a good push. Fastroki was looking to set up a crash pad there with that edited cone in his box, but ADN dropped in and then occupied the space,
you're mad,
AR, and then just used the weapon.
I deleted that message before you could even post it. You guys, just to let you know what he did, he put an F up, but right before it came up, I already took it down, so that guy will get banned. That guy's already banned from the stream, and that guy will be banned from his channel. Will be banned.
Mr. X is nearby, Banshee's nearby as well. Hardest in an awkward spot. We've got Scram in this game here as well.
He can still type right now.
So. A lot of players still alive. 61. We talking about Storm Surges. This is a threshold where it's 50. 11 players need to go down. Darda makes a heads-up play to get a box, and Crash Pad's going to come through, but that's bad for him. Unless he hits the shot, shots come through, and he does. Maestro going to go down the aggressive play, not going to be rewarded, and Ardent will be rewarded for his passiveness.
Yeah, and you can see the reason why so many players are fighting right now, both that Storm Surge and trying to get priority. We talk about fourth zone. Look in the bottom right-hand corner. Everyone is looking to box up and stake their claim on as much real estate as possible for when that half-in, half-out reveals. You don't want to be sharing a spot next to somebody as you go to rotate, and they're looking to clear out the players nearby as Ardent picks up Flois there. So 1 and 2 are down. That's going to open up the leaderboard. Tons of players will have an opportunity to charge up. Eyes are now on him. Whether or not he can kind of extend his lead out there as Ardent also picks up Lecce. Mongrel getting scout there in a brilliant job because he's now cleared out all the players on this tarp.
Bro, who are you, Mad Lol?
The one before moving is pulling
like, I already looked up your
over
channel. I already reported it, bro.
Tayson, Benji,
like, who the frick are you?
Wyzip, Mr. X will all be over there sharing the half-in, half-out with Ardent. They all have priority on everyone else who's rotating into the zone. So they're going to be fighting among themselves to make sure they're safe and not going to get ambushed, and then swap over to what Tayson's doing now and looking to catch the players, burning their rotation, burning launch pads and crash pads, trying to get into this zone.
And this is very lucky for Tayson because, again, express the amount of builds in the inventory. He only had 54.
Like, get out.
That is not where you want to be for this endgame. So he has to find an elimination to get to these moving zones effectively. He does have the 6 crash pads, but when you start to use
like, it's fine that you're in here, but it's not fine that you put the letter F in chat. I had to delete it and put you in timeout.
Unfortunately,
like, that's not right, bro. Like,
which is what a lot
that's
of people
not right
are
at
playing
all.
that consistency. Hey, at least I went down inside of that. Tayson, however, is looking to get aggressive, and I believe that's on. I think this is Benji. I'm 97% sure Benji is right nearby. If Benji makes the wrong edit, he goes into a box that's not his. Tayson is going to go aggressive. You see the big shoulder's going to be popped. Edit's going to come through. No crash pad in. Shots coming through. And Benji's going to go down. Tayson going to take him down.
You called it. He was looking for it, waiting for Benji. He heard him trying to set up and get some space, knew he was pressured around the side.
Yeah,
the horizontal crash pad entrance
now,
puts him behind Benji, cleans it up with the tactical shotgun, and well done. And Hen, the third place player on the leaderboard before the last game, going on the high ground right now, has priority position with Enos and Mongrel just below him. Also Floki on the same
guys,
ground.
I can't
believe
on
over to the Become Legends player. He's been playing so well recently, cleaning up the cash cup on his birthday. Had a phenomenal performance
keep
yesterday.
The chat open
also
on my phone,
guarantee him
guys.
spot here, and
so
he has priority on this next zone. What that means is he's the closest to where the safe zone has to go past. So as it funnels and everyone else rotates, they have to go past Hen. You do not get to past Hen, and you notice he's built so much space around him, so he can't be shot at in return. All of these shots are completely safe, so anything he's able to convert on will turn into points for him here as another placement point does take over. Now he's not shooting through that wall. That is just one of the graphical issues with the replay. He's picking up tags,
like,
but now
shut
you can
up,
see
man.
setting up a crash pad, going to use it to
frick,
go
it's not
on
cool. Mellow. I just went to my comments, man. Like, shut up, man.
It was such an impact elimination, but he's being a little bit too greedy on that zone. He did get tagged up, but he's still good. Rotation coming in. We do see Sapphic going down, and rotation
not funny, man.
went down as
not
well.
Funny
so a
at
lot
all.
of the big names are out of this game, but Han looking to keep his dream alive and take down one player who landed right on top of him. That was a very, very heads-up elimination onto Pablo, but he's not that healthy. He has those minis in his inventory, about 126 effective HP. He needs to find another one.
He needs to find the outside. He can't be in this cluster. It's really weird to take the grapple gun
and then immediately
go into the middle because you don't really have the ability to utilize it. And that's what we're looking for, getting towards the outside of the zone so he has more options there. Anas, teammate up on the high ground there, but this is the solos competition, just playing for the same org. You have Gamers Origin, Deceptos there on the middle as we tick over top 25. Another point going through. Anas running through the high ground. Reason still in the match, and you can see Deceptos picks up Ardit there as top 20 ticks over. Another point going through, and right as I say his name, Reason ends up going down. This is looking like a Become Legends.
Okay, guys, one sec. Let's leave that and go on another one, guys. Because I cannot deal with this, guys. I cannot deal with you guys stream sniping me. Like, stop stream sniping me, guys. Like... It's not cool, man. Not cool at all, guys. It's not cool. Everything's not cool, man. Get out of here. Stop messing around with me, okay?
That wasn't even me, that was in JD.
I know, I already reported him. I'm gonna report him tomorrow, and the next week, and next week, and next week. Until he gets spammed.
It's not gonna do anything, it's just gonna block him.
I know, but he's really annoying. I seriously had to end my pause the stream. Bro, and this dude, you're mad lol. Like, he's still watching, like frick you, man. Like, frick you. Now I even have to, now I'll probably get a strike because of my video. Because it's family friendly. I'm not being so family friendly right now. But, bro, come on. You coming?
Yeah.
We have to find a big screen. Oh, it's over here. There's barely anybody in this one, you hear me? Bro, why do you think this person put, HHH? He put H 2 times in the chat. Check out his channel. It's weird. Want me to give you this grappler real quick?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Did he say another thing in the chat?
Yeah, I had to delete it before he put all of this, and before it came up in chat, he put F.
The follow-up tag with 6 HP to spare.
Who won?
Become Legends
Wait,
announced from the high ground. 4 eliminations in the victory royale, taking game number 2.
Someone won.
The flop was what he needed to pop, and he did do just that. The victory royale gonna be nice. I think may be able to move into first place after that game just on the number of points and the eliminations, but we're definitely going to need the analysts to break that one down, so we're going to send it right over to them here in a moment.
Okay, guys.
Thank you guys so much. Great cast here in game number 2 of Europe. Anas finding the victory royale there. Mad props to him. Now here's the thing though. Tayson, another big name we're used to seeing. We keep talking about the quality of players. This is someone who is coming in strong.
Oh no.
Ends that game in 5 eliminations. Had he picked up that
I fell.
You still got a grappler, right?
Bro, I don't even know who's watching. Are you watching me?
Yeah.
I wonder who else is. Bro, check out your Mad Lol's channel real quick. I checked it out, like.
I don't know if I can.
Can you check who else is watching the stream? Is that possible?
I don't know. It's not like
we're watching Europe. You hear me? A lot of our favorites are in Europe. Like Mongrel and Tico.
Will boost him way up, but he could have done more. Reason still stays around the 9th place mark, but still improves.
He used aimbot again 4 months ago. If you guys remember. Face Mongrel. Come on, Face Mongrel, you got this.
I mean, look at all these names. Thomas HD, Floki, Frenzy Fishy. There's so much heat coming off of the grand finals right now.
Dude, I got the super
could walk away the victor. Again. And especially with this tight.
I keep getting this career update thing. It's called
Anything
super.
Can still happen. There's all these guys at the top making
Me too.
power moves.
What does that even mean, bro?
Like, you're saying look at the names. I'm looking at the points too. You're mentioning that it's tight. It's like a 2-point difference.
Oh, somebody else is watching my stream.
They are neck and neck. Become Legends.
Make sure to leave a comment in live chat if you're not blocked already.
All these guys are playing so well, but they're playing well while others are too, and no one can really break away. Benji, who we're used to seeing in the top 10.
I think I have a stream sniper, bro.
Having good games still.
Bro, I think I have 2 stream snipers. Bro, actually, I think I have 2 stream snipers.
Start for Benji, which I think some people are.
Bro, I actually think I have stream snipers. Bro, this fishy, in the skin, I think they're stream snipers.
You know, the old Benji of Grand Finals, the one who does get good performances and is in the top 10, top 15, very solid out of 100 players, but not quite that win that he's looking for.
Together, guys, we got to talk about more of these powerful plays coming out of these.
What are you trying to do?
Players making what they need to happen, manifesting this win right here, right now.
Yeah, Grand Finals is all about power, and it comes in many different forms. We're starting off with how power struggles on early games. On fights.
Nice.
Noah Riley, Mr. Savage, they had a big battle down.
Benji Fish, come on, Benji. What? Aimbot. That's a controller player. That's a controller player. That's actually a controller player, bro. Bro, that's a controller player. That's a controller player. I think Benji Fish, he's only using aimbot right now. I think he's using hacks. Bro, I think Benji Fish is using hacks, guys. I think he's secretly on controller, maybe. No, he's hacking, bro. Bro, how did he hit that? How? Bro, I feel bad for that guy. Bro, Benji Fish. That was a perfect number 2, you know.
Confidence, something that we're used to seeing out of Benji. I say yes, but it might be overconfidence as he pushes a fight against one of the best players in the world. Now we're switching over to Flowis.
This is a controller player. Controller player.
He was holding power.
He's aimbot controller player. Controller player. How? Again.
But holding power sometimes
finally.
He loses it over to advise.
Wait, is Benji Fish gonna win the game? Like.
Second place for Hen after a very good game.
See, people are crying.
And follows it up with a pretty decent
game. He died, you hear me?
10th place for him, but a couple of elims to boot. And that will put him where
he
needs to be if he wants to grab that crown at the end of the day. The ultimate sign of power. He falls in 11th, but that's at least solid enough.
Yeah, and this is where power starts for a lot of players in this game. It was Anas who ends up winning, who had Caddy Corner and the Mythic Loot as well. The Shockwave Launcher, Hits Charge Shotgun too. And he just made power become his tool in this endgame. He became legend incarnate, literally just personifying the organization he's on and using this entire endgame as a playground.
If I have any stream snipers, come up to me,
Look at that
guys.
Two-piece right there. Anas looks so dynamic, and yes, we saw Flowis with the hunting rifle. We saw him with the charge shotgun last time. But for me,
you should stream snipe me sometimes.
His creativity that really separated
in solo games, you should stream snipe me.
And Anas, that's kind of what we were talking about at Caddy Corner last time. We saw Thomas there for a brief moment, but this time it goes down. Kit spawns down at the gas station, and that's where Anas is lurking. He had a good game last time in 10th place, but if you want to become a legend at the end of the day, if you want to solidify yourselves among the great, immortalize yourself, you need to have games like that. And Anas and Hen, both at the top of the leaderboards, org mates, and they're standing strong.
Both of these guys are definitely looking to break away. I mean, Anas is ahead of the game, 28 points, but Shy, is that going to hold?
Didn't hold in game number 1 with Flowis. I feel like when Anas gets that top slot,
who's watching?
He holds it completely, especially at Caddy Corner. So I feel like, yes, that's my call.
I like it. Leave a comment down below. Guys, let's throw it into game number 3 here in EU of the FNCS Grand Finals. Casters, we're sending it back.
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah.
Bro, sometimes you should stream snipe me.
Thank you so much, Zeke.
I mean, once you're on Switch.
As always, and everyone is looking to become a legend.
Oh yeah, because you're going to switch servers.
Players occupying first and second, and if you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Sundown, joined here by the fantastic, as always, Playstelling. This is match number 3, the halfway point of the EU FNCS Solos Grand Final. And if you're watching at Party Royale and you just dropped in, hit one of those telephone booths with changing stations. Make sure you get your favorite outfit on, then head on over to the main stage, catch the action.
Bro, come on. Let's get our favorite skin on.
And if you notice, he not only has one player on it,
I do know.
That player is.
I do know.
Okay, I got it.
And of course, who's going to come out of...
Hey guys,
I already know what my favorite
That is always the question. And all of these players' minds.
What is it?
Right
You're really gonna ask that question?
Over to Nasu's landing, over towards the weather station side.
Let me tell you.
It better
It
not.
all starts with looking at something on season 5.
It better not. Okay, are you kidding me? I'm gonna be the beach bomber. K-I-S-S-I-N-D. Okay, bro. Well, it is my favorite skin, so I can't complain.
Wait, I'll be back.
And he's in a very good spot to keep that first place, but hidden right behind him. We've got to keep our eye on that elimination feed for that come up as well. And only 3 points behind is able to make a play.
Okay, guys.
Start to make the ground up. Get him,
Rod. Come on.
I'm back. Someone's waiting to drop
down the edit. Around as well. He's got him boxed up.
Come on, Vader.
Fish is going to escape as a deal. Looking to crash pad on in. Using the jump there. He's actually not going to go in. He's going to take the wall and the cone on top. And that was
I'm putting on the Travis Scott skin. I think everybody's doing that right now. Everybody's putting on Travis Scott. I'm putting on Travis Scott, you right?
Crash pads and then the variations you're able to use. Him jumping up prevention.
Wait, actually, my favorite skin is probably the Cypher PK.
Oh, don't open it.
I'm kidding, it's Marshmallow, bro.
Kiriachi now
It's not Marshmallow skin.
to be the predator.
I'm gonna get people surrounding me, you hear me? People are gonna start surrounding me. I already know it.
Box to box, how do two of the best players in the world close out this box fight? Do they look to
It's already working.
or are they just gonna try
Jeffrey got right.
disengage the situation? Right now, Benji's saying,
Oh!
hey, I need more mats if we're gonna go.
Oh, look, I got another. Look, there's another person. There's 3 people around me.
Players also competed in the FNCS
so funny.
finals. So they've been here before. They've been in this grand finals.
Oh my
God!
Wait, let me go up here and do it and see if they follow me. Let's see if they follow me.
They are.
Bro, this is a stream sniper. You hear me? That default's a stream sniper. I already know it.
Actually went up and around the shots.
Jump if you're a stream sniper.
Jump if you're a stream sniper. Stand up if you're a stream sniper.
And Benji baiting him to drop down. Kiriachi was ready. The back and forth going in favor of Benji right now.
Oh! He's standing up. He's standing up. Crouch if you're crouch.
Benji going through old builds.
Stand up.
But once you reset that metal, it's very, very weak and it's easy to hit.
Dance. Okay, Red Knight, I want you to dance if you're a stream sniper. Wait, nobody's even watching my stream.
Oh! But he very well knows who's
He's doing an emote.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I know.
Don't want to get boxed like a fish between.
Wait, everybody.
Like getting boxed between two sharks. A rock at a hard place. Because Benji right now just
not very family friendly, is it?
How long are we gonna do this? How long are we gonna
what are they doing, man?
Oh my. Back because both of these players are good enough to hold the other off, or at least make them pay for it if you don't get that initial ambush off of the start, which is why you now see Kiriachi kind of backing up a little bit, making sure he gets some mats before heading back in towards Benji again, looking to potentially respark this engagement.
And I'm not surprised from Kiriachi. He is very, very aggressive, but we'll have to see if that turns out in any of their favors as 7-Tor. Now being aggressive onto Diablo. Diablo going to get the initial shots there. And now 7-Tor can disengage if they want to, but on the edge of zone, really hard to disengage because you're trying to run away, and then you're just going to get shot in the back, and it's just unfortunate there. So box to box, diagonal to diagonal, Diablo and 7-Tor looking to do a little peanut butter edit, looking to get that jump shot there. 7-Tor looking to get any sort of wall take back, and he does, but Diablo ready for it. The shot comes through, the quick reset there, going to get the tag in favor of 7-Tor, but still not as much HP there as Diablo. His shots are still coming through. He does pop a mini. Continued back and forth over these peanut butter edits. That's that triangle edit that you see as he goes in. He goes aggressive with that crash pad. But Diablo was ready for it. Did you see how many edits he had? How many space he had in between him and 7-Tor? He was.
I'm gonna go through this person's. Wait, I'm gonna go through Harley Quinn's space. I would do Harley Quinn's space here. Wait, let me go through yours, okay?
Yeah, and a really
oh my, bro, look at my stream.
Diablo
Look at my stream, okay? No, don't move! Why are you moving?
Builds out and then following up with the tactical shotgun. And
look at my stream, okay?
Fruitful to resolve that fight. There was a player
oh my!
Right
oh, ew!
Again,
Ew! I just got the full view. Bro, I can see your eyes blinking.
Ew!
I see them blinking. You see them? They're blinking. Go on mine.
Until you're into the top
3.
Ew!
You
definitely want to be making those end games, but also 1 point per each elimination.
Should I go with this default?
Yeah.
That'd be
and
so
he
funny.
Taking coolest out of his name.
Wait,
right
I'm
now,
about to yours.
I can do the Galaxy Scouts.
He's been very, very good. He actually, I believe, one of the players that came through the open track of the FNCS Invitational that happened a couple months ago, but still maintaining prowess over the authority here. He was here back when it was the agency, so dominant performance from Carrot. He's also got the zone there.
Oh, the fishy.
Already building up and refarming. In this Meadows, however, Ardent looking to set up an ambush like we talked about, hiding in this little upgrade room.
Oh my god.
You got games on your phone?
Upgrade their loot.
Bro.
He's got a great charge.
There's nothing.
To do with
Ew, his eyes.
I know. Bro, the red knight. Let's see their. Wait, let me see yours. Bro, look through mine.
He set a trap up perfectly. He set a trap up, but he put a wall, Griff. Put a wall there. The
move, bro. You gotta move.
Everything being caught there. Ardent, though, not going to be able to spring the trap as Griff is ready for it, and Griff turns the tide.
You're moving around. No, don't do that. Yeah, there's nothing through your face.
Yeah, it's part of the mess. Bro, let me check. Red Knight, stop. Stop moving.
Hold one of the loot sharks there, Griff, turning it around.
Bro, you can't even go through the Galaxy Scout's body, you hear me? You just go right through. It doesn't let you.
But instead, going down, so good job.
Oh, wait, yeah, it does. Wait.
Very, very, very impressive run in order to make the qualifier here, but now on board with the
what the frick? Oh,
we saw be super successful in the heats yesterday. The problem is he hasn't really converted it today.
Look at my stream.
We've seen him towards the top. He was actually 7 coming in.
This is so creepy. This is so creepy. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm scared. I'm very scared. I'm very scared. Look at the hair. Look at that mouth. It looks like the galaxy. It looks like a galaxy.
It's a galaxy mouth.
Really hard to find all that.
The Catwoman.
Right now.
She's probably gonna be annoyed because I'm doing this. Wait.
Oh! You a lot of eliminations. You're gonna have to find a way to upgrade that.
Hope I have nightmares.
Or finding one naturally.
Bro, I'm having nightmares right now. You hear me?
Zone, and that meaning there's not that
what is this face?
Oh
my god.
Space to work with there.
Wait, let me check the knights. They're doing the kitty.
She
I'm
looks
wasting.
like a black head.
Wait, I'm checking the knight.
It's so white.
Bro. I don't think this knight has a face. This knight doesn't have a face. That's soccer skin.
Right side of your screen there, the number for zone number 3 is
no, he's all the way up there. It's impossible.
Have to go down. Bad Sniper will be starting to look for tags here, but
oh, that was not family friendly.
It's like gray.
Whoever's watching, make sure you leave a comment. He says gray. That's weird.
Standing towards him, it can be difficult. And he's not in the safe zone yet. And now, 4 above. You talked about how kind of that
ooh, I wonder who he's finding. You hear me?
So he's trying to trade some tags.
Let's pay attention.
Himself above. We have Ovation Arion and Smudge closing in on him, as well as 2 players already in the zone and coming back, and this is going to be key. And he got it. Huge tags in the
oh my.
Mickey Boo, wow.
Bro.
Trying to get
Don't make it so loud.
With those tags, only 62 above.
And you can tell he's not happy with it. He's already looking to move into zone and set up for another.
I'm gonna meet you, okay? You can text in my chat.
52 above, just turn to 60 above, and then it's gonna turn to 52 above, and you're gonna start trickling down that leaderboard as everybody near you looks to get eliminations. But Bad Sniper maybe looking to set up an ambush here onto Keswick. Will be a snipe nearby Skype there as well. As a sniper shot is gonna rain there, not actually gonna connect onto anybody, but Snipe looking to be aggressive on his tags. Again, is above Storm Surge, but not by much, as we see Lecce takes down the premises limit there. Snipe, though, has a very good position in zone. He can rotate to his right or his northeast there to really taking play on that side of zone. His shots are going to come through. He heard that sniper shot come through, and that player got tagged up by everybody.
Ooh, stolen kill.
Down.
Dang, that's
single
tough.
Shot going through there, and we talk about it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and it's sometimes worth just throwing the AR bullets over, both for Storm Surge tags, but you might get a little bit of that RNG on your side and pick up the elimination. Somebody else did most of the work, the hunting rifle shot coming through, but he'll be the benefactor there as Kinzel now is going to put some pressure here onto Flopper Michael. Again, a number of players
Flopper Michael.
Storm Surge tag, so you can expect the passive players to push through. Storm Surge will impact the players who have done the least amount of damage to opponents, but Flopper Michael punishing Kinzel there, who was under that pressure, as 4 more players will need to go down before it turns off. Controller 007 picks up Maestro. Gambit's Moaka also goes down, but you can see Flopper Michael also under pressure here. He was the player who had the brilliant crash pad play yesterday. Can he set up another one here and end up converting, as now we're going to swing on over to Anas, get a nice little replay, see what's going on here. Chaining the crash pads, landing directly on top of the player and catching him over on the side. Sven, what are you doing? Cover your back, man. You can't be doing that on the edge of the zone. But Anas pushing himself further out towards the lead. Don't forget, he was in first place with 28 points, now sitting on 30, courtesy of the elimination and the first placement threshold.
Very great play from Anas to realize that he was being ambushed here as well. Very quickly got out of the situation. Now Andy looking to be aggressive and looking to push. The shots are still coming through. Anas continues his dominant solo performance. He plays 16 in the solos FNCS Invitational and 9th in DreamHack. And he's recently been turning online, you know, in these last couple of months. It's been really great to see him come into someone who could become a legend, especially after being picked up by that organization. With this disengage, though, it nets him a lot. He's able to refarm some of this metal as well if he wanted to hit that fence there. Refarm a lot of this wood as well. Benji picking up an elimination is good for him. While he was in a good spot.
Okay, I'm back.
Bro, get out of game channel.
I believe he also had
So I wouldn't have to hear this, so I can...
Flying out to that land and making it to the grand final there, but now
I'm going for
another player who was there. Bad Sniper, though, under pressure from Atlantis' Lecce. Trying to get in the box. Bad Sniper disengaging. Does have plenty of shields and floppers if he can make the space, however.
Stand up if you're a stream sniper.
A 2-tick zone that as soon as it passes over and it closes, it's going to go to a 5-tick zone.
Every stream sniper that I'm having right now, come to the marshmallow skin up here.
And having the
come to me, stream snipers.
Don't know his loadout, but doubt he has as much heals as that, and going to be punished there. Yep.
I wish I had good stream snipers.
Coming out to the siphon. Really beneficial for Bad Sniper there, and he has a relatively clear path to the zone now. You can see on that bottom right hand corner only 1 or 2 players who are going to be in his way,
and that's always unfortunate, is getting eliminated in zone as you're just trying to rotate through. As Anas doing the same.
Get these kids up.
Let's hit these. Fully in bandages, and he is popping them this time.
Let's hit these kids up.
He's got to be careful. This elimination will net him so much. It'll give them loot, and if that player's blue-white heals as well, it'll be so good. As Andy is staying more healthy than Anas. The zone, once it closes, like you said, 5-tick, and now it goes down. Shots are going through between each other, and Andy's got that flopper. He's going to be able just to outlive Anas here unless Anas makes a play, but no, Anas going down, and that's number 1 out of the game.
Anas being taken out there. The pressure from the storm, the 5-tick zone. Andy eating all the cabbages, knows exactly where they went, directly into his stomach there. Also has the floppers and the bandages as well. So I'm actually going to argue that he should have used the bandages there and allowed the cabbages to tick.
I heard a baby.
Top, but instead going to pop that flopper.
Did you guys hear that? I heard a baby. What?
Game and later game options
that's kind of
safety is now swing on board.
Weird.
With reason. Relatively solid performance. Was in 9th coming into this game. Currently sitting on 18 points and has a decent loadout for the end game. However, a long rotation he's going to have to make here, Clark.
And he has no crash pads and only 1 pepper. He's going to have to get creative with it, whether it be third-partying this site. We did see Scram fall. Rezon just going to hop in, and that's going to be PCH, who is not expecting it. You have to reset those walls. You cannot afford to make those mistakes right now.
This is Grand Finals in Europe, the most played in region, arguably the most aggressive and most talented region as well. If you are able to convert on elimination, please do everything possible and make sure you're safe. It's all about covering yourself up afterward and allowing yourself to be in a position to continue on in the game. And Reason is so good at capitalizing on others' mistakes. Now notice, built up on the high ground, use those hard materials to make sure he's established and safe. But for Strokey, trying to encroach a little bit on this real estate, and that's the fight you're going to see. Reason opting to drop down and just return to his safety as everyone else is going to rotate into the zone. This is zone number 4. So priority positioning is going to be towards the outside. We're going to be keeping an eye on who ends up going towards high ground and then who is slaying out on that low ground.
Easy able to make it here. Another player able to make it into this end game is going to be Savage. And with that off-spawn elimination on the Noah Riley, I'm assuming that elimination there, Noah Riley went down early. It's got to be Mr. Savage taking him down. But you see that is coming through. Nice and pick up there by Savage, but someone trying to capitalize on him. Shots coming through. He's going to pick up a double. He's going to go down. Squeezy going to go down. The pressure's not done yet. The Crash Pad's coming in. And the Crash Pad master, Mr. Savage, going to be able to pick some up there. And he's ready to fight. He's ready to go aggressive, but someone on top of him going to be bad sniper there, trying to box the box. Steady there as well. Savage really needs to make a play to get out of this. Going up.
Come to me if you guys are stream snipers.
What a phenomenal heads-up play. That's what you do when you get elimination. You realize there's more players nearby you, and you take them out as well.
Nick Squeezy picking up an
do a dance if you're Tico. Wait, do a different emo if you're Tico.
Second placement point going over.
Wait, no, you're in there.
So we're about to be at
Crouch if you're a stream sniper.
With a knockdown for somebody else to
Crouch.
And become that front runner. And we talk so much about momentum and whether or not you can hang on, or whether or
do
not
this.
you can get running. And Froggy, a player who thrives on momentum, finding a key
do this
there on the backside of the zone, using the launch pad, and then getting in on the priority. Half in, half out. Now closing in. After this, it will be all moving zones. So it's all about making sure you're safe, finding rotations, figuring out whether or not you're able to get to that next zone, and then trying to punish players around you who aren't doing it as good as you.
Lewick looking to capitalize on someone not paying attention to their wall. You see inside the cone, just sitting there waiting. He could crash pad it. We've seen it before. We saw it go against Benji. There's Hidden. He's going to fall as well. Hidden goes down. What a big elimination there. Another player near the top of the leaderboard going down. Traffic falling as well. Lewick is dropping down, though. He knows there's players riding below him, and he wants a piece of the action because he's only got 53 builds. He definitely needs to find something. His ammo lacking as well. 5 shots with that charged shotgun is going to go through in an instant in this endgame, so he has to pick up an elimination. He also does not have priority on rotation as it's pulling away from him. Or Crash Pads in his inventory will allow him to rotate, but not as effectively some of these other players, and he set this trap. He's waiting for this player to just make the wrong edit and go out, but I doubt that they're going to fall for it.
Well, he's waiting. He does have priority on the zone. There's a player right next to his box. I wasn't sure if that player was on the cone. He finds the 83 tag and follows up right away. ADN going down in 41st, misses the placement point, so a huge pick going right there. Mr. Savage still in the lobby as well. We're into the moving circles. That's the late game. You're going to start seeing players burning utility, using all their builds, just trying to get to that next safe zone and avoid fire from their opponents. But you also have to watch out for those sharks and those aggressive players.
Okay, guys, we're gonna end the stream. I'm gonna start another one because of the chat that was happening on the live. I'll see you in about